So everyone knows the usual range of Mercedes-Benz cars. You have A-Class, C-Class, E-Class, S-Class, you know, GLA, GLB, GLC, GLE, GLS, all that kind of stuff. But the ones that kind of go under the radar is the V-Class, because it's kind of in that middle ground between Mercedes-Benz's passenger vehicles and their commercial vehicles. So this, the Vito Tourer Select 121, is an interesting proposition in Malaysia because it's trying to tackle that luxury MPV market occupied by Vellfire, Alphard, and now maybe the Staria from Hyundai. But will it succeed? Because this thing, you can definitely fit more people. It's a 10-seater MPV, which is kind of overkill for most people. But the thing about the Vito is you can configure it however you want. You get 2 seats in the front, 3 in the middle, 2 over in the other middle, and 3 at the back. But you can take them out whenever you want and reconfigure them, face the back, face the front, take them out entirely, and do what you want. And the thing is about this, value-wise, it's pretty good because it undercuts the Vellfire. It comes in at 342,000 ringgit, and the Vellfire is 367,000. So what do you get extra besides seats with the Vito that you omit from the Vellfire? So with the Vito Tourer Select 121, you do get some exterior flourishes. You do get 17-inch wheels that are kind of like chrome, gloss black. It looks distinctive, but very Mercedes-Benz. Otherwise, it's not that flashy. You know, you don't get the kind of chrome everywhere, big chrome grille that you get in the Vellfire. It's more understated. It's a Mercedes-Benz, and it kind of works for this car, especially if you kind of buy into the whole concept that this is more of a people mover and not so much a luxury, super luxurious MPV. But what you do get in this is, before, like I said, flexibility. You get 10 seats, but how you orient them and how you configure them is up to you. Over here, instead, we have this sort of kind of captain's chair configuration. You have 2 individual seats over here, and like, it's comfortable. It's not captain's chairs where you have, you know, electrical adjustment or like a fold-out ottoman or anything fancy, but you do get, it's a nice material and it's comfortable. And because I can configure it however I want, I can have I could pretend to be the high-powered CEO and my underlings are ahead of me and I'm firing all of them, you're fired or whatever. It's a nice place to be, but what I really want to know is how it drives, not how it drives, but how it rides. Because if this thing can somehow be as refined and comfortable on the move as a Vellfire, despite having not as many toys, it's quite a bargain. But it does have electric sliding doors on both sides. So with the interior of the Vito Tourer Select 121, the front seat experience also is kind of the same thing. You get a more basic experience, although you get everything you need. So you climb in, the doors open very wide. Climb in, not too hard. Close the door. All right. So if you're used to Mercedes-Benz's, you know, the passenger cars, you don't get MBUX. You don't get, you know, all those screens and fancy buttons and materials. Over here, you get a lot of space. Over here, you get the steering wheel. Okay, this is leather, perforated, feels good, but dials are just analog dials, quite basic. The infotainment deck, you don't get MBUX, you do get a 7-inch screen, which does support CarPlay, Android Auto connectivity, but you don't get, you know, the materials don't feel good. It's kind of, you see how this matte material kind of clashes with this gloss black material. Doesn't look particularly great, but it works, I guess. Even the materials in here, okay? I'm used to having the door handles in Mercedes-Benz's be a single piece of metal. Over here, it's clearly very light and very plastic. So, okay. But ignoring all that, if I want to just sit here and enjoy the experience of sitting in a very big Mercedes-Benz and being comfortable, this does fit the bill. It's good value. So actually, it's not all bad with the Vito Tourer Select 121, because you do get electric seats at the front, but only for the front seats. And like Mercedes fashion, it's always on the door panel over here. Okay. What else? I did notice that this is the weirdest thing, okay? The action for the pedal shifters, and yes, you get pedal shifters on a Vito. insane. And the action, it feels actually quite good. It feels better than the A45S from AMG that I drove like a few days ago. Okay, speaking of that, on the engine transmission side, you do get a non-diesel engine, which is also super weird because I don't picture this car, this Vito, this MPV, having anything other than a diesel. So over here you get the M274, and that is the exact same 2.0 four-cylinder turbo engine, petrol, that you get in the A250 AMG line. And it produces the exact same power too, so it's 211 horsepower and 350 Newton meters of torque, which, okay, it's more than you get in a Vellfire, which is 2.5 liter, no turbo engine, 180 PS, 235 Nm of torque. So, okay, you get more power. But the thing is, this takes 10 people. This weighs about 3.1 tons without anybody inside. So you add in 10 people, it's gonna be a lot more. Can that 2-liter engine keep up? I have no idea, I gotta test the car. But again, it's just super weird having a petrol Vito. So what do we think about the Vito Tourer Select 121? It's definitely a big Mercedes-Benz. And in Malaysia, we're not used to having a big Mercedes-Benz that isn't ultra, super duper luxurious. And this is an exercise in what you can get away with at a certain price point, because this does. Remember, this is a CBU vehicle, okay, fully imported. And yet, it is cheaper for a Benz to own than a Toyota Vellfire, a Toyota, all right? Which is kind of amazing. You don't get the bells and whistles of the Toyota, you don't get the super luxurious features. Like I said, this isn't actually a direct competitor to those kinds of, you know, luxury, fewer seats MPV. But you can get away with a lot of comfort, a lot of space, and a lot of value with the Vito Tourer. It's up to you.